All right, everybody, this is Aaron Breitman from the Scarlet Faithful coming to you after Rutgers defeats Penn State 65-45, an absolute clinic in terms of execution, defensive performance, shutting down Penn State. This was fun. This was fun, and it was a rare kind of a little bit lighter on the old nerves down the stretch. Penn State did make a run in the second half, made it a 3-point ball game. And then listen, Andre Hyatt, huge game off the bench, second half, 14 second half points, had not made a field goal in the previous 5 halves. Poor Andre took some slack, partially due to me, for the article that I wrote saying he was arguably the best sixth man in the Big Ten, and then went into that skid. But he showed tonight how important he is to this team. He was averaging 10 points a game coming into this stretch where he struggled. But he could be instant offense at any time. And Rutgers desperately needed him tonight. Penn State was creeping. They were 3 down. Spencer, had another off night. Cam Spencer, 3 points, 1 of 7 from the field. And, it was, you started to feel the game kind of not slip away, of course. Rutgers never lost the lead, but, it felt like it was going to be a scratch and claw fest down to the stretch. And Andre Hyatt stepped up in a huge way, hit back-to-back threes, he had the dunk in the half court before the 2 threes, and the lane opened up. It was almost as he looked surprised that he had that much room. He slammed it home, and you could just feel kind of I don't want to say tension, but just stress of everything just kind of floated off. And then bam, he hits back-to-back threes, changed the game. The crowd got back into it, and it was lights out from there. And then, Caleb McConnell, I thought the last 10 minutes, he was fantastic. He showed poise down the stretch. He stepped up from the free throw line. He had that tremendous block on Pickett, his old high school teammate. Pickett, Jalen Pickett's one of the best players in the country. He had 15 points. He shot 50% from the field, but, Rutgers still limited him. I thought they did a really good job on him, but that block, I think, kind of took the wind out of Penn State's sails. Miserable shooting night for them, 4 of 26 from 3. They definitely missed some open looks, but I thought overall, again, I talked about it in the preview, I thought Rutgers had the chance with their physicality to wear Penn State down. They have a thin bench, and I thought they did. I thought the defense, and I thought just even offensively, Rutgers gave Penn State a little bit of a pounding with Cliff early on. It was a really great game plan. Going to Cliff early, he dominated in the first half. And I thought, he looked really good offensively. His post moves were better. He was under control. He had assertiveness, but not overly aggressive. He's made some strides. He had 16 and 10. At 3 blocks. It's exactly what they need from him. They need from him. I mean, sorry, Cliff, but they need that every night in Big Ten play. But I thought that obviously Andre Hyatt in the second half, but Caleb McConnell, both of those guys, I've seen a lot of gripes about them lately. And, Caleb McConnell, I even saw something last week, what's wrong with Caleb? Caleb McConnell is having his best season in a Rutgers uniform. If you look at his numbers, all his numbers are up. His scoring, his assists, his field goal percentage shooting, his free throw shooting, everything is up. His steals are up. His block rate is up. He's just become a more complete player. Is he perfect? No. Has he made some mistakes in big spots? Yes. But you know what? He is so important to this team. And I love the way he played tonight. Mulcahy was, rock steady. What did he finish with? 12, 6, and 5, I think. He was not spectacular, but he was steady. Yeah, 12 points on 5-11 shooting, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He was exactly what they needed him to be tonight. Some notable stats here: Penn State 33% shooting, but plus 17 on the boards. When Rutgers rebounds and they're playing locked in defensively, teams are going to have a hard time. They really did a great job of limiting offensive rebounds from Penn State. Penn State had 3 offensive rebounds. So a good 3-point shooting team, on offensive rebounds, they're dangerous. On kickouts, ball reversals, and can find the open shooter. Michigan State did a little bit of that. Although Rutgers, did rebound the ball really well in that game, Michigan State held their own, on the offensive glass. Penn State was non-existent, and they didn't get those second chance scoring opportunities. And it was one-shot possessions and lights out. They didn't run the ball. They had 1 point in transition. Rutgers had an 8-1 edge in transition. And then free throws. We've talked about it a lot. Rutgers becoming the free throw shooting team that they are has just added another facet to this team and has elevated this team, has made Rutgers better. Just by, and we've said before, if they could just be an average free throw shooting team, they're not an average free throw shooting team right now. They're a good free throw shooting team. They shot 79% tonight, 15 of 19 from the line. That's about 10 games now, 10 or 11 games they've shot right under 80%. That's unbelievable. I wrote about it. About Rutgers is on pace for their best season from the free throw line in 51 years. 1971-72 team shot 74.3%, I believe. Rutgers is on pace for 74%. But they're right there. I might have to do some more research here. I think they have a chance to eclipse that for sure. But you saw in a game like tonight, Rutgers shot 46% from the field, but down the stretch, they dominated from the free throw line. You have Caleb was 4 of 4. Mag, 5 of 6. Absolutely huge. Mag playing his role. Only took 3 field goals. Finished with, was it 9 points and 8 boards? Let's see, Mag. 8 points and 7 boards. He played Pickett for a bit, but he's playing his role. 4 players in double figures. You had Cliff with 16, Hyatt with 14, Mulcahy with 12, Caleb with 10. Caleb had 10, 7, 1 and 1. And then Cliff was 4-7 from the foul line, but 6-7 from the field. So you have 4 players scoring double figures, and Cam scores 3 points. Pretty unbelievable. Also on the flip side, Penn State, their 3 scorers all scored in double figures. You had Lundy and Funk each had 12. And then you had Pickett with 15, and then they got nothing else. Nothing else. They got 6 points from the rest of the team. So just a classic performance. Steve Peichel, classic Rutgers performance tonight. To win 20 points with your leading scorer scoring 3 points was unbelievable. This team, I just felt this game was so huge. I was nervous about this game. This is a separation game in the sense of getting back to 3 games above 500 in league play. You lose this game, you go to Iowa City on Sunday. We'll get to that in a minute, but this just takes pressure off that game, big time. And you're guaranteed a winning record now going into the midway point of regular season play. You're alone in second place. There's so much parity in this league. I wrote about it previously. You had between Rutgers and all the way down to there were 1 game separating 9 teams coming into tonight. And now Rutgers, gets that huge win. So, and I think they're better than Penn State. Penn State, is going to be really tough when they play them at Happy Valley. But Penn State's getting better as a program. And, I think Micah Shrewsbury is a great coach. For Rutgers, this was a statement game. It was a bounce-back game against Michigan State. Veteran teams don't let losing streaks happen. And they still, listen, they could still run into a losing streak here. But, be able to bounce back. Rutgers is in the position right now. Before today's game, they're pretty much a consensus projection, a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're 22 in net. They're 20 in Ken Palm coming in. And you win this game tonight. What this game does now, you're 6-3. Let's just say they go 6-5. Let's say they go 5-6 down the stretch. You still have a winning record in Big Ten play now. You're guaranteed that, even if you go 5-6 down the stretch. I don't think they'll go 5-6. I think they're better than that. But the margin for error with every loss grows. or excuse me, reduces, and every win gets a little bit more closer to where they want to be. And this was one of those nights, and it was fun. Um, so listen, they have a legitimate shot at second place. They're in second place. Metrics wise, they're in great position now. And you go to Iowa City, and hey, obviously, I think they, defensively, I think they looked a lot better. Obviously, guarding the perimeters tonight. To hold Penn State to 426 is really phenomenal. I mean, I looked at Penn State stats a lot. I mean, they pretty much, regardless of what percentage they shoot, they never make less than 8 threes in a game. Pretty much never. They just shot against Indiana 18 of 31. Their last game before this, they were 11 of 30 against Nebraska, so not a super high percentage. Still solid, 36.7, but it was low for them. I mean, they were shooting 42% Big Ten play coming in. They were shooting 39% for the season. They were sixth in the country in three-point shooting. So to do this to them, now go to Iowa, have confidence that you can defend a good three-point shooting team. They've won there before. It's been a while. But I think this team's going to play loose now. I think they're going to go out there. They got the win they needed. They're not going to go 2-0 every week, but if you go 1-1 the rest of the way now, you go 6-5. I mean, that's 12 wins. We want more than that. But, if they could do just that, they're in good shape. They're in good shape. I think they can do more. I think they can get, 13, 14 conference wins. Who knows? But I think, going into this 7-game stretch now, this is their second game now. They only got the rack twice in a 7-game span. Tonight was one of them. Next week's Minnesota. So you got to win both those games at the rack. Minnesota's a quad 4 game. You got to win that game. Don't want any resume killers. Temple beat number 1 Houston, so resume keeps getting better. They're not too far off from becoming a quad 2 loss. And if you have no quad 3 or 4 losses, I mean, they're in great shape. So got to avoid that with Minnesota, but you also got to win the home game. You got to protect your home court. So you go to Iowa, then you come back, you got Minnesota next week, and you got Michigan State, another chance at them at the Garden. And then you got at Indiana and at Illinois before the final 6 is definitely more manageable. So, you're 1-1 now in that stretch. I think, going 3-4 would, pretty much is what you need to get at a minimum. Anything better than that, they're challenging for a second place finish, and I think they can do that. So tonight I thought was a big confidence builder. It proves that hey, they can win without Cam Spencer having a good night. This is a deep team. This is a veteran team. They're an elite defensive team, proved once again. But listen, 4 guys in double figures, 65 points. They shot 46%. They were 1.1 points per possession. Which is above average, and help Penn State under 0.8 points per possession. So the Ken Palm's going to go better. The metrics, the 20-point win is going to help net. They're going to move up. It's harder to move up the farther you are already up, but I think they can move up 4 spots. All depends with the rest of the action, of course. Rutgers is going to be in the top 20 in net, top 20 in Ken Palm tomorrow morning. This is a good team. Steve Peichel, you could tell how happy he was in the post game. Just in terms of this was his kind of game. But I'm really happy how they won. They won playing their style. They shut down a really good 3-point shooting team. They would not have won this game, especially as easily as they did without McConnell and Hyatt in the second half. So I guess I want to just end with, listen, this is college basketball. There's going to be nights like this. There's going to be nights like Michigan State. But all in all, this is a good team. This is a veteran team. This is a connected team. And you know what? Andre Hyatt and Caleb McConnell are 2 huge pieces. And you can't expect 7 guys to score 15 points every night. Guys are going to have off nights. And that's what good teams do is they pick up, other guys pick things up when other guys don't play well. And Cam struggled. I do want to say, I love that Cam had 6 rebounds, and they all came early. He really didn't play the last 15 minutes of the game because Andre got hot, but he had 6 rebounds. He's the kind of player that, despite having a bad shooting night, he's going to be a factor. He's going to be, he's going to do things to help win. And that's what this team does. You know, when Caleb's not scoring, when he's struggling, he's defending, he's rebounding. You know, when Andre Hyatt can't score, he's rebounding. When Mag isn't scoring, he's rebounding and defending. You know, Cliff, same thing. When he went through that funk, when he wasn't scoring, he was defending and rebounding at a very high level. He improved defensively during his rough offensive stretch. And now he's putting it all together. And he's playing like a Big Ten center, all Big Ten center. So that's a huge development. You know, Mulcahy has developed into kind of steady Eddie. He hasn't had any dynamic games in a few, but he's playing very consistent. He's being a reliable force for this team. So huge night, huge win for this team. Now 6-3 in Big Ten play, and 14-6 overall, 70% winning percentage. You know, long way to go for sure, but very positive step forward tonight. And let's enjoy this. Let's enjoy this season. This team, I really think, is special. They have a special connection, their chemistry. I've said it for a long time now. But there's going to be ups and downs in this season. But this team is good, and they have a chance. They have a chance to do some special things. And I think that tonight was an example of a very impressive performance. And let's go to Iowa City and see what they can do. But I think the pressure's off. Yes, you want to go 2-0 in the week. You want to keep winning. But you come home to Minnesota next week and Michigan State. Next week is definitely a huge week in terms of having you know, statistically odds are in your favor to have a 2-0 week. The odds are not in their favor to go to Iowa City and win. But hey, you win in Purdue, you can win anywhere. And I think they're going to be better prepared for Iowa this time. They proved it tonight. They can defend the arc. I'm excited for that game. So thank you for watching, listening once again. Visit thescarletfaithful.com for all my coverage. I'll have plenty of post-game coverage, as well as, you know, full coverage the rest of the week for Rutgers Athletics. And, you know, listen, stay positive. But, you know, even when this team loses, let's appreciate what this team is. We know they're going to fight. We know they're going to play hard every game. And tonight was a really impressive performance. I think Penn State's got a shot at the tournament. So it was a good night, and we move on from there.